another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling. And hello, 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 hello. I had a burp and on the note crack. It's all that, honey. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's your tea? What's your tea? What is your tea today, my darlings? It's another glorious day, my tea sippers. And I hope you have all of your crumpets together, my darling, because it's time to dish tea. And you are dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat, honey. Listen, I have been real haphazard with coming and starting on time lately, y'all. So I know I need a whooping. Today, I was working on the show, and I got a call, and it became a counseling session. So in that, the counseling session was really a show, right? Because the question was about relationships and the whole idea of monogamy. What does that mean? I have someone who is, LGBT or alphabet or same gender loving. And he was explaining that as a minister's son or whatever, and he's the B of the alphabet. What he sees in women is one thing, but what he sees in men is similar but different. And so then it became, he's the classic case of preacher's kid syndrome. Okay. Of because he's been dealing with the church and this, that, and the other, honey. What he's attracted to is something far completely opposite than what he get from church, right? In women. In men, he likes them straight acting, straight appearing, not ostentatious and not very flamboyant. But then that's church stuff, because I don't need anybody to be so obvious and this, that, and the other, right? So as I'm explaining that to him, I'm explaining to him about monogamy, because the definition of monogamy has really expanded, and it has, I won't say changed, it's just expanded. And he's when I called him a sanctimonious hoe. He said, explain that. I said, you want to be this beast and this, that, and the other. I said, but if you were to go out into the places of ill repute, okay, and to carry on with your lasciviousness and things, you would be one of those children where the culture is, it's a voyeuristic culture. We carry on and folks come watching this, that, and the other. But you'll be the one, if you were there, then you would take your little piece to go run someplace else so that y'all can have your little private space or whatever and interrupt the culture of what the place is. I said, so if you're that private or whatever, then you need not be here. You need to take that home and this, that, and other. He started laughing. I'm like, yeah, that there is that. And I understand that you want to give all what you got to your one person and this, that, and the other. But what happens is a lot of us are not honest in relationships. We're not honest. We're not honest. We're not honest. Many of us will not admit to if we're monogamous or not, because we don't want the rejection. So we're going to tell you what we think you want to hear in that moment. That's going to keep us in either the candy store or the bakery shop, because not only do you want the cake, you want the pie, you want the cookies, you want the bread, you want the muffins, you want the ice cream, you want the frozen yogurt, You want the popsicles. You want the entire store. Okay. And you say that you only want one thing. Okay. You say you only want the cake. Okay. But then because there's so many options of cake, you think you're supposed to get a piece of all of it. No, this is what I want. Okay. I have options, but I just say I want cake, you know, and that there was that. So that's what the conversation was. But and so I end up getting sidetracked with him. So that's why we're starting so this time. I'm trying not to be before y'all long, but this conversation is gonna be real good because Minister V over here wanted to bring something to the table. And I didn't want to have this conversation without him. And I know he had duties earlier today, and I thought he was still working with the revival children, honey. But he said, "What's up? What's up? I'm waiting on you." I said, "Oh, I'm waiting on you," thinking that y'all was still doing your little doo-wops. So I'm gonna bring him in. Come on in, Minister V.
What it do, what it do, what it do.
What's up? What's up?
Man. Huh. It's been the most awesome and glorious day.
Okay.
We went out there and had a revival in the middle of this neighborhood, the housing authority.
Uh-huh.
We saved 4 of them.
Okay. All right. Children looking for a new way of doing things and wanted to get a spiritual connection. And that's always good and encouraging.
But what I loved about it is where we were centered at. It was in the middle of all the actual structures of living residence. So once we cranked up the PA system and we got to doing our thing out there, even if you didn't have the heart to come and have a seat and join us, you could just stand in your back doorway or in your window. And we caught 3 of them that way. And one of them came and sat down.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. That's always cool.
I think we're going to continue to work with that community because a lot of people, we literally had no seats empty.
Okay. Lovely. But you know, I always say communities usually need a good revival anyway. You know, just a reconnection, kind of like going to the filler station or whatever, and you find one where you get full service where they check your fluids and this, that, and the other. Yeah. When you get one of those
back for what we were talking about last year. I'm more refreshed in delivering the word and prayer and communicating with people and meeting them where they're at without, outside of the 4 walls of the church.
Yeah.
I think that makes them more comfortable to be able to tell their truth.
That, and then we're not following all these different protocols because, see, one thing about the 4 walls is it becomes the whole pomp and circumstance. I'm not dressed right. I ain't got the right clothes. I don't have money to give. It becomes all of that. I'm not on any auxiliary. It becomes all of that.
You know what's crazy? I rebuke and shun the people who started that mindset.
Okay.
Because you visited my church.
Yeah.
We're not that.
Right.
You're not. We don't care about what you can come in there with a Nike suit or Steve Harvey suit. We don't care.
Okay.
You can give or you not give. We just want to save your soul.
How about that?
Because remember that plate in that church don't get passed to pay pastors and bishops and apostles and all that. It's just to pay the bills in there. Nobody's on a salary.
Right.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it the Chevy way, the new airplane way, the helicopter way. We're doing it Christ way.
Not. He said the Chevy, the new helicopter way. You know what? Okay, I'm done. Let me get into the show because you start your calamity. Today's show.
Did I say that?
I titled it, "When All Else Fails, Go Back to the Basics." Okay? When all else fails, go back to the basics. Today, before we get into our main topic of submission, or being submissive versus being subservient. I want to highlight a couple of things. The first one is, I wanted to bring this on the show last night because for those of you who are here in Georgia, particularly in the Atlanta area, there was a story that I found that there was a Church's Chicken in Bankhead. Okay, the Bankhead location. It has been permanently closed by the health department because it did not pass the second inspection. Okay, the first inspection they got a complete U. I think they only got like a 39. Okay, they were completely U as unsatisfactory. Now you know after an inspection you have 10 days to get that back up because they're coming back out. Once they come back out, that second inspection, honey, if you have not got everything up to par, honey, they will shut the door. And they did in this particular instance. Now,
my problem with that, real quick, was you can continue, is they need to send a different inspector, but they always send the same one.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. And in that there, you know, there could be personal vendettas and carrying on, you know, everybody getting to their feelings and all that kind of jazz. And that could be unfair. But the question becomes, I'm looking at the business owner because most Church's Chickens, if not all of them now, I'm going to say most of them are franchisees. Okay. So there's a business model there. All right. And I know when Alabama first got here, whatever, the one up here on Old National, he worked there and was probably there for what? How long were you there, Mark? About a day or two? Because he was up there, and I think he may have worked 1 or 2 days because the manager and the person over the damn store got into a fist fight with another worker. And then somebody had brought their kids to the job, so the kids are sitting in the damn coloring and stuff at the tables. And what? There were no tables; they were remodeling. They were on the floor. Oh, they were. Oh, he said the baby was on the floor. Okay. So with that, I called myself trying to call and complain to corporate. But when I left my thing, honey, that store ended up calling me right back. She was the one to call me and said, "No, that's the." Of course, she denied it or whatever. But she was like, that's not what happened. And this, that, and the other. They offered me to come in and get a free 2-piece or whatever. I didn't want to be bothered. Okay. But in that, the Bankhead store being shut down, I wonder what is the business model about the store? Because the bigger thing becomes this. We talk about ownership, and I know we were talking about that last night. We were talking about, not everybody's able to, for ownership and this, that, and other. A lot of folks are not prepared. Okay. A lot of folks are not prepared for ownership and carrying on. But what is it that we do? How is it that we accept the fact that going into business ain't my thing or being an owner ain't my thing? Because a lot of us are pressured into having ownership. You got to have your own business, be your own boss, stop working for the man and this, that, and other. But not everybody is equipped to do that. And when we have businesses that fail, especially on health codes, you don't know how to keep the damn store clean or whatever, or you done got so much to where you think you're a businessman or woman, and then you done hired all these little 2-cent little ghetto children, thinking that you're helping the community, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do to run your business down, and you're not putting anything in place. You're not inspecting it. You're not keeping it up. How is it, or what is it that we need to do as people to say, listen, let me bow out and cut my losses? Or better yet, how do we train better business people to prepare for ownership and stuff like that?
One of the main problems it's a spirit within the urban community where people of color are always doing things outside their means.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, not outside they. Oh, wait a minute, honey. That's good.
Just because I can fry a burger and my next door neighbor think it's the best burger they ever had, don't mean the community is going to accept it as well for me to make $1 million.
Right. And a lot of time folks get blinded by that, thinking that I'm going into business and I'm going to get rich.
And they forget there's a number one dirty word in any entrepreneurial spiritual world. It's called overhead.
Okay.
There's overhead in every business that you do, whether it be administrative or blue collar, white collar, whatever you do, there's always going to be overhead if it's nothing but the light bill.
Exactly.
And this is where we fail as a people because we prepare to open, we prepare to get a profit.
Right.
But we don't prepare to be stable.
Right. Right. How about that?
So you got to remember, if you have a business that's capable of making $50,000 a month, right?
Uh-huh.
And here you get a month where you don't do but 15,000.
Okay.
That means that you had a month where you had time to maintain your business to the acceptability of day one when you first open the door.
Okay, right.
So you got to remember, you got 12 months in a year. You may have half of that where you do 50,000. It's not going to be back to back.
Right.
It's going to be split up. You know what I'm saying? It'll be split up. But you do 50, you're paying 20 in overhead.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's in your month. So you made 30. The smart person, they'll lock and load that money into something that's going to make the money grow and pay themselves a regular salary. See, that's the problem. You go into business and you put too much pressure on the business. Fancy cars, big old houses, everything in the business now.
Right.
Now, if you're smart, you make that money work for you. And this is the best thing I can tell people that want to be entrepreneurs right now in this world today.
Uh-huh.
Do everything in fives.
Okay.
After your first 5 months in business, take 5% and do something for yourself.
Right.
Everything else, roll it back into the business and into a some type of insurance, like I guess an income, you know what I'm saying, like some type of like index, you know what I'm saying, underwriting license, whatever, something.
Right.
IUFI, whatever you want to just run it back into that to where that money's always making money.
Right. Right.
Okay. And your 5th year is when some type of profit, if any. 5 years. You know what I'm saying? You got to move in that. And you move in fives and always paying yourself 5%. You're going to look up and you're going to be pretty much $50,000 and spend 70.
Right.
You never had enough money for payroll and the extra people you needed to maintain your store in order to pass inspection, in order to keep the business.
Okay, that part.
And nobody can. And then to be honest with you, I've owned a restaurant before.
Okay, there we go. Talk to us.
I walk up to a person, right, that says, hey, I'm fine on this grill. I think I really want to open up a restaurant. Well, I'd be like, well, How about this? Let me see your business. Let me see your whole business plan. And they'll be like, okay. And they'll walk up people and they'll start writing down stuff. And I said, no, I need to see your perspectives. Then I want to see what your P&L and your projections over the next 5 years is for this particular establishment.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're looking at you crazy.
Right.
Because within these projections, you have to include spoilage.
Right.
How much food you going to have to throw away?
All the waste. Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people
That's
don't
the
do
profit
this
under your P&L, profits and losses.
Profits and
it
losses.
goes in that loss, baby. Yeah. Especially if you work at a restaurant and God help you because fast food, y'all know burgers only supposed to last 15 minutes. If you got too many burgers on that line, honey, after 15 minutes, they got to be dumped.
Right.
They can't stay because that heat lamp don't do all that for them burgers, honey. So you got to put that in your waste. So you got to count it as your waste. Now, because we knew now we're not supposed to, of course, because it's a risk. Well, the workers are not supposed to do this because it will put a liability on the job. But what we would do is, instead of taking our lunch off of something cooked fresh, we knew that these burgers. I used to work Hot Now. I mean, yeah, Hot Now. And what we would do is we would take the burgers like at the 14-minute mark. Okay, especially when we would drive, wasn't nobody coming. Mark them off on the waist, and then that would be what we would pull for from lunch or whatever. Like, and then we get cute and double, quadruple burgers and all that kind of stuff, just because we were greedy.
Let me tell you a secret. This thing I used to do when it came to the burgers, because we had, we had a great lunch crowd at Cafe 24, right? I did quarter-pound burgers, the traditional American burgers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can get them with the setup with the lettuce, tomato, pickle,
right?
Or you can get hood wrapped with the double cheese on it and the grilled onions and all that wrapped in aluminum foil sitting in it. So when you open it up, it's all gooey.
Right.
Best of both worlds.
Before have that cheese melting, right? Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you want a Manhattan or a Bankhead burger? That's what we had.
Right.
So we sitting up there, and they kept trying to figure out why my burgers was always so juicy, hot, and good, and they come out on a timely manner. Well, I had a big flat top grill that I worked on, but it was big enough for me to separate the worlds. So I can make one side for grilled seafood only.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? However I want to do it, I can separate that grill and it never cross-contaminate nothing. But everything I need, I will run down the middle that needs a little heat on it. So that middle eye for that part of the flat top be extremely low. One of those pans that I had there, it had beef bouillon in it, and I would only sear the burgers and then put them in the bouillon, and they can sit there for the day.
Right, and simmer.
And they're sitting there. I just sear them. They seasoned patties, but I sear them, and I let them sit in the beef bouillon, and a burger order comes in off the ticket, and I take one out of there, and boom, it hits the grill, and I cook it to whatever they ask, whether they want it medium rare, whatever. Said, boom, there it is. Now it's cooked. And now they biting in one of the best seasoned burgers I know, and it's based on because it's been marinating all day.
Right.
And when you put it in marinade, you change the narrative of your spoilage.
Right.
Because now it's no longer sitting in a heat lamp. It's marinating.
It's marinating. Right.
And people gotta be. I used to be really slick with this, but I was trained by a really good foreigner. He was an awesome dude. He do all this stuff with his eyes closed. But those type of things people got to understand. Spoilage, and please don't sell seafood. When
Okay.
you sell seafood, you got to know how much you need and how much is going to move and
Right.
how long, and the rotation of it. Because, baby,
Right.
that stuff will go like this.
Right.
Wrong temperature.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
again, when
now,
you don't prepare
yeah,
for it, you don't clean. That's what happens.
exactly. So now, we have a number of businesses like that, particularly for those who are in the restaurant industry. Um, it is really, 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 really ridiculous that you fail because of your cleaning practices. Now that's real big for me, especially in places. Now we here in Georgia, and I'm assuming this is all over the South because the South got critters, honey, that the North don't have. Okay, and I know that I know now we got them damn water bugs up north too, but down here in Georgia specifically, they are indigenous to Georgia. So it's nothing to see them big ass flying cockroaches everywhere. Okay. Especially during the summertime. And if we know this, then that means you've got to prepare your restaurant for all of that. You got to be on top of all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to be on top of all of that. We also got little geckos and lizards and shit that crawl through here, all up on the walls and carrying on. So that's indigenous down here. So knowing that, you have to be able to keep the restaurant clean and knowing that inspections come. Now we all know that probably the best food that we have ever eaten come out them damn barely passes greasy spoons, child, that there be a hole in the walls.
Mm-hmm.
But because we're dealing with the public, we have to maintain that. Because I mean, look at your own kitchens and carrying on. How many of us, especially those of us who've been in the food industry, how many of us clean our kitchens the way that the industry says we're supposed to have a kitchen clean?
Well, personally, I do salt scrubs and everything on my stoves, and
Okay.
I'm sorry, I've been doing. Hey, I'm ex-military, and that's where it's vested in me.
Right.
So
But the average person is not going to do all that unless it's that time when we're going to do a deep clean and let me go up in here and clean out the oven and I'm finna get ready to strip the refrigerator and clean the refrigerator. All of that. None of us rotate stock. Okay. None of us rotate stock, child. When we go grocery shopping, bitch, we put everything right on top of everything else.
you
Okay,
know
we
what?
don't rotate that right.
I really can't say none of us because I teach my 10-year-old when we get the groceries. I've been teaching him that since we've been getting groceries and bringing them into the kitchen, putting them away. And I taught him FIFO, which is first in, first out.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
and that I don't know, bro. It's different when you're military and you got your culinary license from going to college in the military and all that stuff, and you have to apply your military daily life to your career. When you don't, some stuff is just a natural habit for you.
Exactly. Well,
And then,
again, you were trained that way.
yeah,
You understand? That's a
right.
big difference. That's a big difference than the everyday cook and just the every. We know to wash our hands and this, that, and the other because we know what we learned at home. Okay, watch your mama, grandmama, maybe daddy, whoever. I know daddy on the grill. There's certain ways how he cleaned the grill and this, that. That's the basic stuff that we learn. Those who went to culinary school, you're military and carrying on, and this has become a business for you, and this is how you set yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not something that you are lax in because this is what I do. This is how I make my money. So in order to stay proficient, you take that across the board at your home kitchen and at your business kitchen. You know what I'm saying? To stay consistent with the training. You training folks the right way. You know what I'm saying?
But how many this just happened recently. That's why I'm gonna say this. How many times have you been somewhere
Mm-hmm.
and people cook? You don't know these people, but the
Mm-hmm.
hospitality is there. And if you don't eat, then they offer a plate for you to take with you, and they make the plate, and you take and you take the plate home. Now, the food is not atrocious, and it don't look like no old hip hop songs, and it looks good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you take it home and you just throw it in the trash.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I do that a lot.
Okay. So
I do that
I
a lot
don't.
because listen, I don't trust nobody that got animals in their house. I don't trust it. I don't care. I don't care. But if I see that that animal got free will to be all in your kitchen and this, that, and the third, I don't trust it.
No.
I don't trust it. Particularly, and more so cats in particular. Dogs don't necessarily jump up on the damn on the stove. They come up and I don't like when folks feed people dogs people food from the table because that means that,
No, that I don't do. That I don't know. Now, if I'm cooking and I'm cooking a meal, right, and I say like I cook a roast, right.
right,
When that roast is done, I might slice off 3 ounces of that roast
right,
and
and put
slice it up
in
in the dog's bowl
the
out where he
bowl
eat it, where he eat
where
it.
he eat at. Right, you
Right.
don't feed the dog from the damn table.
No, I don't do that. Not from no table,
Right,
not from no stove, not from no
right. You
kitchen,
know what I'm
nothing.
saying?
No,
No,
no, no,
exactly.
no.
My cousin, may she rest in peace, honey, Miss Tenero. Now she had 5 dogs. She liked them little cocker spaniel little things, and she was really in love with her little dogs and carrying on. But there would be moments where she made them their plate, but she would feed them their plate from her lap and from the and this bitch cook her ass off. And I know how I watch how she cleans. So she's one of those girls. She's one of them immaculate, honey. Listen, she had back problems and everything, honey. But she was one who could not go to sleep unless the entire house was clean.
Right.
Okay. She one of those. So I know what she's capable of. And she's one of the ones, she's real, her dogs are like kids because she took them to the vet every so often. She constantly, she one of them, she gave them medicine and
Right.
all of that. At the same time, you feeding this dog from the table.
But as you well know, there's a new puppy in my home.
Okay.
But what you don't know about me when you're raising a puppy around me is there's a gun line.
Uh-huh.
Now, right now, the puppy is spending a majority of their new career at the Hayes household in a cage.
Right.
Okay. In a cage, and you go out 3 times a day. Right.
Right.
But may I add this? When you're older and the training starts, the gun line is at the kitchen door. You don't walk in my kitchen.
Right.
You do not. You can stop at the kitchen door. You can lay right there in front of the kitchen door, but don't step on my kitchen floor.
Right.
And I've had 2 dogs, and I know that it's an easy train. It's not hard. And then my training might be a little more aggressive than other people. But you know how they say even a dog gets tired?
Right.
After 3 of these right hooks, when you keep stepping your paw on my kitchen floor, you find out that that's not the place to step at.
Right.
I ain't had one that made it past 3 hooks before they figured it out.
Groove say, what about soul food restaurant? Big Meats? Mine that I went to before COVID, it smelled like chitlins. The food was good, but too expensive. Soul food, well, you know what? Here's the thing about that. We're dealing with businesses. Oftentimes, people don't pay attention to the temperature because they have potato salad and stuff. You got on the ice, and especially if you're doing a buffet or whatever, you got to come and check all that. You know damn well after an hour, an hour out of a cold area, whatever, honey, you got to come and change that out. You can't keep mayonnaise and stuff out like that. And especially, and it goes down like to 45 minutes if you're outside in the sun. You can't have mayonnaise and stuff out like that. And God help you if it's uncovered on top of it.
The best way to save spoilage and losing money on salads, potato salads, macaroni salads, pasta salads, is to individually cut them, and as people want them, you take them out the refrigerator.
Take them out the refrigerator. Right.
And they get the little cups like about this big.
Right.
You spend less money than the money you would lose having to throw it away.
Exactly. Okay. But and that's business. Speaking of as a business now, oftentimes because we're so busy being potluckish, you know, with preparing this and preparing that, and we doing the family reunions, the barbecues or whatever. Who made the potato salad? You know, we don't pay attention that we got to keep that stuff on ice or in the cooler or whatever, covered so that it could stay cool.
Well, I mean, you know who made the potato salad if it got raisins in it.
Well, okay.
The only guy that is married to a white woman.
Oh, stop. It was also hot and gospel was playing in there. It needed some AC really bad, and they should have got rid of that smell of the chitlins. Honey, if they cooked them up in there, honey, it ain't no. If they didn't do it right from when they started, that smell ain't going nowhere. I can't smell. I hate that smell, and I hate the smell of old lima beans, child.
First and foremost, when you're on a restaurant of that magnitude and you cooking chitlins on that level, which is something I don't dine or indulge in, but I can't steer away from what I don't eat or what I don't like, because as a culinary artist, you have to cook what other people order.
Exactly.
But I tell people all the time, if you're gonna do a pot of potatoes, a pot of chitlins, you just take, if it's a pot, like a pot that you would make a pot of spaghetti in, one of those. The best thing I can tell you is slice up 4 potatoes.
Right.
Peel 4 potatoes and drop them in the chitlins.
Yep.
And when the chitlins are done, discard the potatoes.
That's it.
And people won't even know you got chitlins in the house or in the restaurant or whatever.
Told y'all they put those membranes, they don't stink like that, honey.
One thing I can tell you though that I had that was an awesome blessing in my childhood. I was never made to clean them.
I've only cleaned them once with my cousin. In fact, that was the only time I cleaned them because she was trying to teach me. She was making stuff. She made like 40 pounds that year. And she said, come and help me do it. I said, girl, I don't know how to clean these damn things. And she showed me how to do them and carrying on. And I always remember my mother telling me, if you ever go and somebody cooking chitlins and you see grease at the top, they ain't clean, dump them. I said, okay. So I just have that in my head. But yeah, so that's something that I wanted to bring up about the church's chicken and carrying on. Because the businesses are saying, well, you know, that was a franchise and this, that, and other. So corporate, whatever their corporate offices is, you know, they threw that on there. It was a franchise, and so it's permanently closed. And basically, they were saying that, you know, it's out of our hands, and no, we're not going to suffer from it because that was a franchise. Okay. But let me go here because I'm going to change gears just a little bit. This is a political note. And I'm going to say this out loud. I put it on my Facebook page, on my campaign page. But City of College Park and the people of College Park, the citizens, the neighbors, honey, the stakeholders, let us not become what South Fulton is becoming and is. Okay. It was reported on the news today here that the city of South Fulton, Georgia, the mayor was arrested. The mayor was arrested for trespassing and burglary. Okay. Now, supposedly and allegedly, there was some house or something. Now, according to the news report, wait a minute. Do I have it up here? I was trying to load it up in here. I did download it. But anyway, the news report was saying that the children, hold on. Okay, good. I could do it this way. Let me do it this way. I'm gonna just share the page. Let me share the page, and we're gonna get into it because there's been a lot going on with the city of South Fulton, you know, with their elected officials and carrying on. They have been having problems. You know, city council have been blocking the mayor with doing stuff, and I'm trying to understand that because the mayor is the boss over the police and this, that, and the other. So how in the hell do they sit up there and arrest their own mayor? I'm having a hard issue with that. But here.
Mayor, why were you on that property?
I just wanted to see the house. I do apologize to the owners. I thought it was abandoned.
What do you say to your constituents?
I apologize for the negative attention this has brought to our city. But I hope that the spotlight that is on our city right now will highlight some of the inequities that have been happening.
So you're guilty of the charges?
I think that's for the voters to decide.
Yeah. Okay.
If you want to get in trouble,
Okay.
you can't figure out nothing personal or something special, just ask a black man. Hey, what can I do so fucked up this is? Anyway,
Okay.
use my language. But to me, the people that should be setting examples are getting more ignorant
Right.
by the next day.
This kind of press and publicity that has been put upon the city of South Fulton, that has been put upon just the state itself, because South Fulton is relatively a new city. So, you know, they're not, I'm gonna say making it up as they go, but basically, yeah. You know, they got to iron out their wrinkles. And then let me say this too, because for me, I take it a little bit more personally because Mayor Khalid is black, male, gay, and now he's doing all this old calamity. Okay, he doesn't have the respect of his team members that carrying on. Their city hall, they are constantly in the news. If y'all not heard of it, back for Easter, they blocked him from having the Easter egg hunt for the kids because they claiming that that he didn't have the proper permits, and the person who was putting it together and that was he partnered with or whatever said we've been doing this all forever. They've been doing it for like 14 years or whatever. And this particular year, they decided not to give him a permit. So they locked the mayor out of the damn park, and he couldn't do the damn the Easter egg hunt. So that there is something that's very that way. Children of College Park, honey, we need to make sure that I know we've been in the news lately with the mayor and the ethics complaint that went on that was charged against the mayor and things of that nature. Hey, baby, what's going on? Where you been? Okay.
Talking about DJ GK.
uh-huh. We're in the public eye because we got some mess going on with us, but let us hope and pray that we don't get to this particular level of embarrassment and just upset within everything. They suing one another. City council done sued the mayor done sued city council. It is absolutely ridiculous. And if y'all remember how it got muddy here between the governor and Mayor Keisha, when she was the mayor of Atlanta, and the governor tried to sue her or whatever over the pandemic bullshit. I was like, wait a minute, how you gonna spend taxpayer money to sue the mayor when you need to call her over there to your office at the Gold Dome, be like, girl, look, and have a sit down with all this. But there is that. So let us not get ugly with all of this contamination and carrying on.
Let me say
This is.
look, okay. Look, it has occurred to me, and people gonna be people now, and they're getting more bold with their activities in the world.
Yeah. That.
So what I started saying is, you see somebody do something, right?
Right.
It upsets you, or you appalled, or you clutching your pearls.
Right.
Why about instead of trying to punish, reprimand, or whatever, how about we put them people in positions and give them back exactly what they're doing to others?
Well,
because some people don't like themselves and they don't know it.
How about it?
Somebody could be sitting there right now. I can't stand a person that smack their food, and they probably smack every time they eat a candy bar.
Exactly.
But that's not my problem. That's not my business. DJ GK, what's happening? Long time no see.
Okay. Here is I just want to those are the two things I want to highlight like right now.
Really good. Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Because it's just ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. And if we keep on having this, and pretty soon what the state gonna end up doing is removing their charter or whatever, and they'll be disbanded as a city. Okay, they'll be completely disbanded, and they'll probably go back to be an unincorporated college park, which means all of their crime and everything would go on as our statistics because it'll be college park. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so okay, and let's get into the meat and potatoes of today.
Be the city of Lavelle.
Okay. Right. You still ain't got that settled yet? Okay. Let's get into this. And this is probably going to rub folks the wrong way because this subject always does when it comes down to when we talk about women, when we talk about understanding gender roles and carrying on, whether you subscribe to them or not. But when we talk about gender roles, we have to understand that traditional people, and when I say traditional, I mean those who believe in religion traditionally, those who believe in gender roles traditionally, and carrying on, they have always they're very sticklers on wanting this to be this way. We touched on it a little bit last night on the show. We were talking about how masculine energy and carrying on and feminine energy, how it does when we were talking about Mr. Man and his son. Okay. But now we want to talk about relationships. And oftentimes this always comes up, particularly with church folks. Because women refuse to want to be in that whole idea of being submissive, because what they hear is, I have to be subservient. Okay. Oftentimes, those become synonymous because of what we have been taught over the years about the gender roles. When we watched our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, and some of us, our mothers, who were married and men wanted to be traditional men, but those who grew up in the era where women wasn't allowed to wear pants, they always supposed to have on skirts, to this, that, and the other. And the whole idea of who wear the pants, I couldn't stand that. I still don't like that damn expression. Well, who wear the pants in this house? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Okay. Because of that, the woman is at home, the wife is at home taking care of the home. She cooks, she cleans, she takes care of the children. You know, she does her wifely duty. She takes care of her man and blah, 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 blah. You know, back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, the husband will come home, he gives the wife an allowance because she most of the time she wasn't working, so she gets an allowance. You know, he provides and she takes care of the monies and carrying on, unless, you know, that wasn't her strong point. Now, there was one point in time when men took care of everything. The women didn't take care of the bills. The man did. She was just there to take care of the house and to cook and clean and all of that, you know, iron his shirts and get them ready and all that. So oftentimes women have been put in a position or to where their role was just to be, you know, a housewife. And so if they had goals, dreams, aspirations, and et cetera, a lot of the time that kind of stuff was put on the back burner because if she married, her duties were to the house. So when we hear the word submit or being submissive, a lot of folks begin, and particularly in the Black community, we hear the word subservient because you're saying to me, "Oh, I can't have my own mind. I can't think for myself. I can't, and I'm a strong Black woman. I'm a strong woman, and I got my own ideas. I got my own this, and I got my own that." Okay, I'm not gonna be like my grandmama honey, who was sitting up there wanting to be a dancer, but her husband told her she couldn't because she had to help him build his business. Or how about those who end up marrying ministers? Because I wonder about this all the time. For women who get caught up in the calling, a lot of women are not called to be first ladies. You first ladies through osmosis because you married to the pastor. And so now, in order to be in alignment, then you quote unquote assume the role. And then a lot of times it becomes trial and error until you've been in it for a minute and you got into your own prayer closet and say, okay, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, I'll submit to it. And then you get in alignment with it. But there are those who are called to it. There are some who are sucked into it because they're married ministers and carrying on, and not saying that I didn't sign up for this or whatever. They just went through it because that's my husband. And a lot of women hear that I'm not supposed to have my own life. And there's a whole thing to the whole submissive thing because it's not something that is automatic. What it is it's innate. And one of the things that my girlfriend April Mason teaches is that divine feminine energy will submit to masculine energy naturally because when she feels safe, secure, protected, you know, and all of that, the divine feminine energy will acquiesce to it in a natural ebb and flow. It's not to say that she will bow down to him. It's just that she will allow him to lead in a natural, as long as he showed that he could be a leader. It's not that she do it automatically because that's a man. No, he has to be in alignment and it's going to be in agreement. It's going to be a synergy there that a lot of folks don't, you know, they don't want to work at. They don't want to improve themselves. They don't want to allow for that to happen because we have allowed the idea of that to be adulterated. So, Lavelle Millerspaw,
What's up?
this is something that you want to bring to the forefront and have this discussion.
Okay.
So let me turn it over to you and let
People
you.
may not like what I have to say, and I'm gonna have to. There's some jokes. There's a ribbing. You know how they have ribbing amongst men in the locker room talk and things like that. Okay,
Right.
and a lot of the fellas that are married versus the fellas that are not married, right?
Right.
One of the biggest jokes in marriage is, well, if you're married now, you get no more sex. That's over with for you.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
women get mad about that type of that label or that coverage or the title over their head, a liability, like they.
Mm-hmm.
But women, at what point did sexual acrobats and sexual servitude become the same thing? Because before that man gave you the ring and submitted to you, you were doing things that yeah, that it costs a lot of money in Vegas to get done.
Not in Vegas. Okay.
So what the point I'm trying to make is a woman will give you the most fantasy intimacy 10 times a week before marriage.
Uh-huh.
Then it's like, okay, well, okay, I won the prize. I got the trophy. I'm set on the shelf, and I'm gonna polish it whenever I feel like it. If I see a smudge in it, which would be once or twice a month.
Uh-huh.
But you've been had the trophy before the trophy was titled to you, and you was polishing the trophy every day.
Oh, before it was engraved. Okay.
and my confusion in this is you listen to women who have not put themselves in a situation to be mature enough to subdue or submit to a man or submit to monogamy. You know what I'm saying? And be in a relationship, and they tell you, oh, you don't got to do what he say. Girl, don't let no man run you. Don't no man run me. Blah, blah, blah. Well, don't no man run you because you don't have a man.
Okay. Now,
Misery loves company.
Let me ask this because it's interesting that you went there. Let me ask this as a straight man, because I don't know what this is. I don't fuck with women like that. But the idea is the same over here on this side of the fence. Okay. Is the whole idea or the case of having a woman submit to a man, is the first idea sex? Because that's the first thing you went to.
The first idea is not sex. I'm gonna tell you what. Let me tell you what heterosexual men want. Now we into something. Let me tell you what they want. It's not sex. Sex ain't what it is, because most of the time, you before you purchase the cow, you already get the milk. So that's not even what it is.
Okay.
What it is a man wants to be in a safe, secure place that his good morning kiss doesn't have penis in it. You know, he wants to be in a secure place that when he lays down in his sheets, that there's not mahogany hair and his hair is black in the sheets. He wants to make sure that when he comes home, he's trying to figure out who draws of those. I wear Hanes. Why the Fruit of the Looms here? That's what he wants. That's the point. What men want when they think about marriage, they think about a secure place with somebody they can build with. And men think about sex all the time, but no, men that are ready to get married are sick of chasing draws.
Okay.
They're tired and they're ready to have somebody either fill the gap of the things they're missing in their life, because a lot of single men don't take care of themselves well.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times it's not about the intimacy and the sexuality. It's about the domestication that's missing in your life. You know what I'm saying? And you need that you fill that gap when you feel like you don't have it.
Okay, now let me go here. What's the difference between having the wife and the domestication and not treating her or making her feel as though she's supposed to be your mama?
Okay, the difference between that is this. The domestication that you ask for as a man is, I'm dying to you know, women always, they still, no matter what, when they get married, they still want some of that stuff they had in the beginning, so they want to be dated, right? So if you know that I picked the time, if I took the time on Sunday night to make it a date night and make plans for us, and I take you out on a late night dinner and everything, but you know I work Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get up and my clothes be ready and my lunch be ready for me to get on out the door? Like, make it easy. What can you do for me to make my next day easy when I thought about you all the time?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, wait a minute, because
you're not being my
I'm
mother.
here.
You're
I'm
not
here
being. I'm
for
not
the
asking you
different.
to be my mama. I don't need
Right.
you to be my mother. I don't need that. All I need is sometimes make my next day easy. Sometimes take
Okay.
something off my plate. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes look at it like this. When I say, baby, have you done the laundry today? A man doesn't know some of the lingos and the love languages. So when you say, baby, did you do the laundry today? A lot of men are saying, damn, why you ain't wash my clothes? Like they're your mama. They're saying, hey,
Uh-huh.
we're not doing anything. This is a good time for us to do the laundry together. You have to listen to your man.
Okay, well, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. That's loaded. Because I like the idea of the whole, okay, this is why you're not my mama. Because there's something else that's there that rolls up. And what rolls up is be my helpmate.
Right.
Be my helpmate. I'm not here to dump on you. And then because I'm not here to dump on you, don't expect me because I'm the man to okay, because I go get okay, because it becomes monotonous. There's no ebb and flow. Okay,
Exactly.
this is what April says, and I love her when she says this. She teaches women. She said, honey, if you heal the boy, the man, honey, will love you forever. She said, a woman who doesn't want for nothing, honey, can get everything.
Exactly.
All right. And so, in healing the boy, oftentimes men show up. You know, they got the success, they got the this, the that, you know, all that they do with their rapping in line and get the girl and blah, 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 blah. But that's the persona. When it's time to be intimate, and we're having downtime,
Right.
we're having cuddle time, we're having TV time, whatever, just to sit down and talk and communicate. You know, it's there that you learn who he is at his core. Okay. When you understand his core values, everything else moves and flows as long as you're taking care of the core. And a lot of
Man,
a lot of
let me
people
share
don't
something.
get that.
Let me share something with the women in the world. You want a good man? You probably already have one,
Right.
but you forgot that men like to be touched too. Not intimately. Sometimes it's just a hey, are you okay? Or I'm right here for you. Touch. That's it. Sometimes a man will start to second guess himself and start losing trust for you because you refuse to initiate intimacy in the bedroom.
Right.
Because the first thing comes to mind is, well, who got her attention? Because I got to jumpstart her every time we have intimacy.
Okay, right.
Okay, so but women have it in their little beady little minds that if they initiate intimacy, it's a form of servitude, like they're breaking the rules and
Uh-huh.
bowing down. And you're not breaking the rule and bowing down. It's a give and take thing. You understand what I'm saying? You
Right.
know, I have a lot of female friends, and I'm finna get around. It's you know what? It's that time of night. I'm finna let it go. I had a lot of female friends that set up with me because they were so cool with me on the, you know what I'm saying, the regular, you know, the whole friendship thing, and nothing else, but to have girl talk with me and I'd be listening and I'd be like, no, that's what y'all sit around talking about. And they laugh and think it's funny because you in a whole relationship with a nigga and excuse my language, with a man, and will serve you in intimacy, you know what I'm saying, to start an initial session with you all. And once you've been served, you turn over and go to sleep as if he has no needs.
Uh-huh. That's good. I like that. Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And at the end of the day, I'm trying to figure out, you have the audacity to want to marry this man, but you have boundaries in intimacy.
Uh-huh.
I can understand absurd boundaries, but boundaries of normalcy of what pleasure is between two people that are monogamous to each other and they plan to spend their lives together. When you start setting boundaries right there, you start setting up antennas.
Right. That part.
Because those boundaries existed before you all became legalized. And this is where the ribbing and the monotony comes in marriage all across the United States, where people are, oh, well, the sex is over. You went from he can't even get in the bed out of the shower fast enough to jumping under the covers and standing them up and being cowgirl Sally and just doing your thing.
Right.
To he gets in the bed and he turn over to say something to you or try to want to kiss you goodnight or anything like that. He can't because your back is turned over and you're snoring.
Okay, right.
That is a dangerous place for women to go.
Completely.
And I tell you, women, and you know what, I say this all the time. If you have made it to that space and you don't know no better, seek help.
That part.
But if you have made it to that space and it's because you have zero desire for your spouse or your companion and you don't know how to tell them, well, you better figure it out fast, because the worst thing you could ever do is waste the time that they can't get back.
Okay, right.
You want to be respected by somebody you're no longer in love with or you don't love or don't want to be with, be upfront with them.
Right, right.
Because I'm going to tell you something. When 24 hours go by and it's behind you, there's only 24 hours in front of you.
How about it?
And I'm trying to tell folks all the time, don't play with this relationship and this monogamy and this marriage thing, because it's not a game.
Okay.
I've been watching women, bro, lately. You know, I'm not woman bashing, but what you call really monogamy, what you call a man running your life, is really a man setting you up for greatness.
Very interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? What you call a man being what's the word they use when he's talking down to you or whatever. What a man is being that way. Did you ever stop and think, what's the subject matter of what he's projecting to you? What did you do for this subject to come up? And maybe he's not snapping on you. Maybe he's teaching you.
Okay, let's go here, because see, okay, I'm hearing something else.
You understand what I'm saying? A woman does not want to be taught by a man, and let me tell you something. You know what? Diamonds are beautiful. Diamonds you can make diamonds. You can trade them, shape them, cut them, whatever, break them down, turn them in all kind of jewelry, and they be the precious stone. But you want me to tell you something that's more precious than the diamond? An apology from a woman.
A sincere one.
Yeah, because they're not gonna apologize, and it's okay. But your apology needs to be public and on national TV.
Here's where this is that I'm hearing, because, and I'm gonna take male, female out of it, because what I'm hearing is masculine, feminine. Okay. because masculine energy, um, when masculine energy is hurt or
Mhm.
needs to be reassured, needs to be rejuvenated, need the pep talk, need the confidence builders and carrying on.
Needs nurturing. Right.
Right. If the feminine energy is not in that space to reciprocate that or to receive that and to lock into it, there's always going to be friction. Because see, now going back to making it male female, what we have is oftentimes because men have never been shown, taught, or expected to emote, okay, women
Mhm.
have never been taught to pay attention, at least not nowadays. Back in the
Right.
days of old, okay, I learned it from my mama. I learned it from Esther Lorraine, honey, because she knew my daddy like a book, a school book, or like the back of her hand, honey.
But see,
She
that
knew.
was that energy from that back in the old school women who paid attention to who their spouses were, or their mates were. These women now don't know that you're either living with somebody you can run over, and he don't even pay attention to what you got going on because he's so scared of what you might say, or you in a situation where these are the funny ones right here, where you're totally wasting time. You're pretending to be in a happy space, but he can feel that you're not, and you're not
Right.
honest. You're not being honest, and you think that you're getting away with it because guess what? You're either waiting around for him to hit the rich plateau, or you waiting around or to get that house
Uh-huh.
or whatever. And I've seen this, and I've been watching this in this world. A woman will be with a man 20 years, 15 years, 10, whatever, to wait on that big, beautiful home and that house and that car and that life and everything, and then break bad and try to take half or take the house. You know what I'm saying?
How many of y'all seen the movie Kingdom Come with Anthony Anderson, LL Cool J, Whoopi Goldberg, Jada Pinkett,
Absolutely.
Tony Braxton, and carrying on, honey?
And that's why I remember it was Tony.
Okay, now I'm going right there
Yeah, go ahead.
because Jada Pinkett, her character, loved Anthony Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't because she blamed him for not being Tony Braxton's husband.
Yep.
Okay, blamed him because he got the get rich quick scheme. You know, he this, he blocked, the dot, trying to make the money, as she wanted to be set up like Miss Thing. And so she jealous of her. Oh, here she come, and girlfriend, she's starting and profiling. Okay, but what did she say to her in that church service? She said, "Yeah, I got the car, I got the this, I got that, but I can't stand that man. I can't stand him. He better not touch me. I don't love him. I don't nothing." What? Girl, he ain't never home. Yeah, I got it, but I don't. Oh, God help me. Well, she went through all of that. Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
price that she's paying to be cutesy and
Yeah.
can bring her hair and carrying on and can talk about this. And yeah, she got the house, but honey, you ain't got the man. And she damn near told her, girl, if we could trade places, I would love to take your husband. Okay? Considering that he's going through doing what he's doing, trying to make you happy. He's doing killing himself to make you happy.
But these women
And you
today,
didn't
they
appreciate
don't
it.
see it. These women today don't appreciate it. They don't see it. They think you're supposed to be doing all that, but they don't understand something. A lot of us men are so intelligent right now that we know if we bailed on you, everything that we have together, you won't be able to have by yourself.
Well, which is why, okay, Again, I just posted up in all the places, honey. Y'all see that link that the YouTube link? That's a clip. It's done in parts. That particular interview, I think they got 3 or 4 parts of that because they couldn't shut it down. They were just, boyfriend would not shut that conversation down. But this particular section is when April says, honey, if you heal the boy, the man will show up. Okay. I want y'all to take a listen to that because she dropped some real significant jewels in there that I think it would be pertinent. And it also speaks to the climate that we have today. A lot of us are not allowing men to be hurt because men won't allow men to be hurt because we supposed to suck it up, take it like a man. What you crying for? When men don't hurt, that's a damn lie.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, bro. When just imagine this, Meech. I want you to put your mind, wrap your mind around this. Imagine this. You amongst a group of people that you with all the time, right? Let's just say a group of people, right? These group of people are kind of distinguished and they're kind of semi-established. They're not wealthy, whatever. But they're rich on love because they relationship. They're married. You know what I'm saying? They all been married for a while,
right?
And you see the older women when it's time to break bread at events or whatever. You see them never communicating with their significant other. And when it's time to eat, not having no conversation with their significant other, they return to the table with their husband's plate. The younger wives, on the other hand, come back to the table with their own plate.
Right. Yeah.
And you're taking care of them. They're not taking care of you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? At what point does a woman stop blaming a man for creating this petty stuff to have a problem with us about and realize that that's not submitting? That's just respect. Nobody's telling you to bow down and kiss my feet. But damn, can you fix my plate? I did pay the mortgage this month. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what that is. And I noticed, listen, you know, the times we've been over there, there's been a number of us and carried on. Pastor Marie, I watched her. I would have cooked, you would have cooked, or whatever. You know, now you know I'm gracious host. You know, I'm about ready to fix everybody's plate, right?
Right.
And she would come and she said, "Oh no, I'm not." And sometimes I would have to stop her. I'm like, "No, I got it." But then she would say, "No, let me get my husband's plate." You know, as if to say, "Let me take care of him." You know, because you know, and what I like. There's been a couple of times I felt like I the energy was. He can get up and get it himself, but let me do this because I don't feel like he in his mouth, kind of thing. But that's being human, and that's not a dig. That's just being human,
right?
But at the same time, what it was about, okay, let's do this, because I'm not gonna call no names, but there were other women there with their husbands, and everybody was, you know, after that was done. Either she nudged and called the girls in, come on, let's get our husband's plates, or whatever. Or she nudged and was like, let's go get his plate, you know. And you hungry? You know, you hungry? Well, where your wife at? Come on over here and get this boy's plate, child. You know, that kind of thing. To show that, listen, you know, it's more so like a thank you, and it's not like you serving him, oh master. It's more so like, baby, let me take care of you. Okay. It's a meet and greet kind of thing, you know. Same way how, you know, when she comes home from work, whatever, and you have her bath drawn for a minute, this time, and this that, and the other. You cook dinner and got the kid. Child, listen, women say that all the time, honey. I come home from work and the kids are already showered and in the what? I can exhale. That's one less thing I have to do that's off of my plate.
But here's the crazy thing about what you just said. There's a generation of married women that are in awe for that when they walk through the door. But then there's another generation that won't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, because and those that don't acknowledge it, they feel as though they're entitled to it. You're supposed to do that. Yeah, I'm a boss bitch. Yeah, you're supposed to. And a lot of that is what we have evolved into when we sit up there and let the feminine energy when is let me put it this way. When it is female masculinity that's leading the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If a woman is operating in her masculine energy, that's the bump. That's the bump, because she's coming at you as a total equal on the same level, not realizing that her superpower is I'm on your same level, but I ain't got to be that hard. See, what they say, you kill a lot of bees with honey versus salt or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, I done told that up, but then I know that didn't sound right. But the whole idea of understanding what your power is, I'm listening to April, and I teach this to all the alphabet children who happen to be expressing themselves in their feminine energy. Honey, divine feminine energy, honey, is your superpower.
Mm-hmm.
That's your superpower, because if you're in your ultimate divine feminine energy, honey, the masculine energy is going to be intrigued by it anyway, because it's just going to sink.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to sink, and there is no put on. There is no you trying to do this to keep a man or whatever, because that's the other thing that she teaches. The whole idea of getting into your feminine energy is for you. It's for you first. And once she said, don't try it, just you want to become it. This is not like you're trying it on for size. You're becoming this. This has to be just as natural as you could say your name. It's who you are, not not nothing that you're training for.
I told a young lady one time, right, that was telling me about, I'm talking about, ain't no man gonna be telling me what to do all the rest of my life, and this and that, and this and that, right?
Right.
I said, there's a difference between a man telling you what to do and asking you to do something for him. And 9 times out of 10, the things that he asks you to do for him benefits you in the long run.
Right.
I said, so when you're in a relationship and you find yourself doing things for him, whether it be laundry or cooking or cleaning or whatever, consider it that you're doing it not for him, you're doing it for you. Because if he's trusting you enough to wash his clothes, he's going to wear these clothes against his skin. He trusts you to fix him a food and bring the plate, and he picks up a fork and immediately starts to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
He trusts you to go to sleep and get this nice sleep and a realm sleep next to you.
Right.
And he also trusts you to take his car to get something done to it, pick up his clothes and laundry, use his credit card, or go to his bank and go pay the bills. I'm trying to figure out at the end of the day, do you not see the big picture in this? Mm-hmm. You're not being a subservient, submissive slave to this man. You are creating the narrative for all the things that he wants to and is going to do for you in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times women don't have to do nothing. You know, sometimes men who got it totally together, that's really in a tax bracket that's of their own, that they can, a woman can just say good morning. I already made coffee, sweetheart. So when you get out the shower, let me know if you want to help you iron a shirt or something like that, and going about their business. And then before they leave, you can say, hey, sweetheart, before I go to work, I got a lunch break today, or I get off 2 hours before you. Is there anything that I can do to take something off your list of things that you have to do today?
Right.
A lot of times he's going to say no, and I appreciate it, and he's going to take the coddling, the cuddling, or the kiss, and go on about his day. But what you just did, you took him from thank you, Jesus, for waking me up. It is totally awesome where you put me at when I woke up.
Okay.
And guess what? You're not submissive or serving. You just set yourself up for greatness.
Right.
And you're great. He's great. That's how two people make each other happy, instead of worrying about who's telling who what to do.
And there you have it. But we still get this whole thing of wanting to battle the idea of I can't have no man telling me what to do. I can't have no man. I don't want to be in no and can't nobody and you know, yada yada yada. And a lot of that comes into basically everybody's hurt. Let's just start there. Everybody is hurt. But because women have what, and y'all heard me say this the other night, strong black women, honey. No, you ain't strong. You a bully. What you think is being a strong black woman or whatever, honey, that's not strong. You are a bully. Okay, and we end up taking all that bullying and taking all of that into relationships because, again, like what we said at the top of the show, most of us are not honest about wanting relationships, honey, because we don't know how to build one. Most of us want companionships with boyfriend benefits or girlfriend benefits, but nobody.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
because you're wise and you're pretty vested in the relationship situation. What is it when a significant other always wants to be subjectual, confrontational? No matter what the subject is, they got to go against the grain. No matter what you say, it's like they already on the defense. Like they're trying to prove you wrong about everything you say.
And because a lot of that becomes wanting to be right. Most conversations are not about listening to learn and to say, okay, let's communicate to solve a problem. Most conversations where it's about neck rolling and you did, but and always having a rebuttal is about wanting to be right. And that there is what kills relationships.
Cause a problem. Exactly. That causes a problem because you'll be sitting. Your first thing you're thinking, whether you're the man or the woman, and this is happening, first thing you're thinking is, "We at the end of this relationship? Like what? Like what is that about?" Exactly. And it gets worse when it's the pettiest subjects.
Yeah.
The subject is not. It's never like a big subject. It's the pettiest become amplified because you were confrontational for no reason.
Exactly. And then it's about trying to stand my ground. Again, it's all about making sure that I ain't gonna have nobody tell me. How you gonna tell me? I told you. See, and then it be when it gets to that, the pettiest of petties becomes trying to make sure that the point that I knew I was right with, but I said that, and you heard me when I said, didn't I? I was the one who told you. You know, and we get into that wanting to be right. And a lot of time in that wanting to be right is because a lot of folks may be in the thought process of, if I don't, that I'm going to feel like I'm diminished. You're not going to see me. Or here's the big one, I was wrong.
That's the one.
You understand?
That's the one.
A lot of us don't want to get into I was wrong.
Okay, DJ GK, let me tell you something about that last statement you made.
What did it say?
Because they're independent, remember? Let me tell you something. let me go ahead and address that.
Not for slow women. Shut up, fool.
That is so stupid. Independence. I'm going to use a young person and that I know, that her argumentative point is that I'm an independent woman and I'm doing my own thing. I'm grown. But the place that you reside at, you pay no bills, no mortgage, no rent. Even the vehicle you own has no car note on it. And it's running perfectly, but you would rather buy mascara or a wig versus put insurance on it. So with me speaking like this, what is their definition of independence?
Interesting.
Okay, because
well, let's go here, because everything that you just said and things that what you just said, we we'll attribute that to Beyonce's song, honey. A diva is nothing but a female hustler, Okay. And so when you create that boss pimp-like mentality, see, women think that they boss bitches because, hey, what Lil Kim say, why spend mine when I could spend yours? Okay. And so because we in that mentality, this is what men are supposed to do. Okay. Regardless
really?
of what the ticket is. Because see, remember a while ago when we had this, when I was asking about dating, and I said, why is it that the restaurant, women get upset about the restaurant? I can't take, going out on a date, you don't want to go to Applebee's or those kind of places, honey. Why? Because if I take you there, you're going to say, oh, that was a cheap date, blah, 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 blah. He don't want to spend no money. Okay. Why is that so important, especially on the first date? If I'm not trying to fucking impress you that goddamn hard to where we going to.
Don't ask me what I drive when I meet you at the bus stop. We're not doing that. Okay. Secondly, don't doggone tell me that you a boss chick when I met you coming out of Rainbow.
Ooh.
Okay. First off, don't treat me like I'm beneath you, but you smoking a Black and Mild. If you really a boss, why you don't have a Cohiba in your hand? Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to figure this out. What exactly is you all's definition of what you think you are or portray to be? Because you're not in the image of none of the stuff you say out of your mouth.
Well,
and this is confusing me. How? Let me tell you, when I was at the service and there would be big parties like New Year's Eve balls and things like that. My crew would get all up. We were single then. We the men. We all fly. We done dropped the check at the mall. You know what I'm saying? We dressed like the mannequin. What he had on? Okay, we good. We hit the doggone top party, whatever the radio been raving about for the last month, right? My boys, most of the time you can come up on New Year's Eve on a one night hitter or the beginning of something new, right?
Right.
They used to tease me because I go in there. First thing they talk to and trying to doggone buy drinks for all night long is the chick with the tiny little little booty dress on where she can't even reach down and tie her shoe because of all the glory.
Right.
And she have on some type of half jacket with just a bra top, stomach out, and everything. All of them attack all of those that look like in the club. Lavelle goes to the librarian with the pantsuit on and the long sleeve and the turtleneck.
Because they go for the candy. Yeah.
They tease me. But I watch so much doggone Price is Right. I know that Vanna White is something behind that curtain. It's something behind that curtain. So when they got on that doggone baggy clothes and all that stuff, when they sitting there and they looking serious. Now, don't say I don't go for the ugly girl that's standing off in the corner while he wants to talk to you. There, most of the time, they're very attractive young ladies. They're just not hidden behind 1,000 pounds of makeup, and they're not butt naked almost to the point that I have no imagination to what to look forward to in the future.
Right.
So every time that I have done that, all my counterparts, they tease me, they laugh, and they joke at me the next day. Oh, yeah, what happened to the little librarian lady you was talking to? Yeah, and they cracking jokes. Miss Ty's bucket. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Giggle, giggle.
Right.
Every time I've been in that situation, do you know my response usually be?
What?
Something like this. Oh, you talking about the young lady I'm having dinner with tonight? Oh, yeah. Everything is fine with her. I didn't come home that night because she decided that I should stay with her at her 4-bedroom ranch with double living room. And she has one of those $10,000 Chinese dogs running around there. You know, yeah, outside of that, chilling on the back porch, overlooking the 1 acre that she has.
Right.
Nothing much. And she's never had a child. She has no kids. And she's in her last year at Hampton University, becoming an RN. How'd that work? The lady you meet, how'd that work out for you? Most of the time, they was in the projects. They go over there, they tripped over and stumped their toe on a Power Ranger. You know what I'm saying?
And the kids ready to call him Uncle So-and-so.
And they woke up in the morning. And they wake up in the morning, you done throw it down. You throw it down all night. You've been drinking from the party. You pass out next to her, and you wake up in the morning, and then little Jimmy laying there in between y'all with a pamper on.
Right. Okay, looking simple.
And he looking at you like, and she just sleeping good. She comfortable. For her baby to wake up and see a nigga she never met.
See?
And that's the difference between me, because I know that if you come out to events where most females are going to be hoochified, and you're not, it's something going on with you that's worth looking at. So, and again, being the true definition of a independent woman.
Uh-huh.
Because the other ones, you're not independent if you're on Section 8. You're not independent if you're in subsidized housing. You're not independent with food stamps. You're not independent if you're taking Ubers everywhere. You're not independent if you got a nigga for each bill. You're not independent if your name is not on the lease and it's not your house. Or you're not independent if you're not paying a mortgage. Let me know when I'm not talking about somebody. Until then, shut up.
Well, what you say?
Yeah, that right there. Don't. That's a subject you don't want to talk to me about, because I will shut you down. I will prove to you how dependent you are.
Well,
besides, your daddy and your kid's daddy is the government. Now,
I'm not. I am not with you. Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Asking that nigga to bring your kids a Happy Meal. Hell, you gotta have your meal. The government gave you food stamps. Go get it.
Well, oh Lord.
Look, he said, what did he say? I admit some women with kids be having good snacks.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sitting up here. I'm trying to find this other the other interview when we had April here on the show.
Now you
And
know what I'm gonna tell you something. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you something funny. You just said it about the what was that? It was a video we watched it was a long time ago. I think it might have been last year. It was a video we watched, and the guy got into it with his girlfriend because he was taking her out for her birthday, and she brought all her friends with her. Like
yes.
Yeah, and she was
Yes.
expecting him to pay for all of her.
All of them. Do you know? Wait a minute. There's another one that surfaces, and there's two girls asking the question: if you go out with your boyfriend, you bring 2 or 3 of your friends along, is he supposed to pay for everybody? And both of them said yes at the same time. Right? I guess it was kind of like one of those little TikTok things to where you it's a game, you know.
Right.
And both of them said yes at the same time. And I'm like, in what world?
Where y'all get that from?
In what world, honey? Listen, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this, okay? I had to get on my road dog about this too, because I'm like, look, if all they know is your wallet, that's all they're gonna expect.
There it is.
Okay. If all they know is your wallet, that is all they are going to expect. Listen, Carmen Jones, honey, now y'all know Dorothy James was one of the most beautiful women in the world at the time. And when she played Carmen Jones, darling, it was a line in there that I love. She said, honey, if I like him, honey, he don't need a checkbook. But if I don't, a checkbook ain't gonna help. Okay. And if the whole thing about what he has to offer, or the whole thing about him being a real man in your world, whatever the whole real man is supposed to be, is based upon his social economic status and what his wallet can do for you, then bitch, that's tricking. You ain't no damn relationship. You a hoe.
And there you have it.
And let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't want and miss me. Oh, please. Miss me. Okay. With I'm a woman of standards and integrity. Bitch, I don't want to hear all that. Because standards and integrity, honey, would not go looking at my wallet first. Looking at what it is I'm driving and carrying on. All right. Now, I understand if my presentation, if it's something about, okay, maybe I got on run over shoes because I don't wear my everyday dress shoes and not the impress shoes, okay, or whatever. You may whatever that is aesthetically, but if you shut down after that and haven't taken the chance to get to know me while we have a conversation over dinner, or our conversation only is talking about what you're expecting me to do, okay, or how I'm gonna spend some more money, or I'm watching you ask for a couple more rounds of drinks or whatever. I watched this. You heard me say this before. My mother taught me this. You don't never order off the menu, honey, more than what the man is gonna pay for himself.
That's true.
You understand?
That's true.
You don't never order for yourself more than what he's willing to spend on his own ass at the restaurant.
Do you know that's I'm gonna put it out there because I'm happily married now, but I'm okay. You know that used to be my setup on a date. My setup on a date was, and I remember this, and I'm gonna talk about this particular date. It was at Red Lobster on Pleasant Hill Road in Gwinnett.
Okay.
the girl we had been talking for a while, back and forth, young lady, just communicating back and forth, talking here and there.
Right.
A couple of times I did pick her up and drop her off somewhere she needed to get to, in the area. This particular time, we decided to go out on our first date.
Right.
So she said Red Lobster. I said, okay, cool. I like Red Lobster. That's cool. So we go to Red Lobster. She gets in the Red Lobster. First thing she do is order a $15 cocktail.
Uh-huh.
You know me, I'm conversating, but I'm watching. Conversation is going good. And she's talking about what she got going on and what she gonna be doing. And you know what I'm saying? She was like, I don't want to play games. She's running that thing where I don't want nobody to be playing games with me. I'm looking for something serious and everything. And I'm just looking at her the whole time. That's all her trying to bait and set up, right?
Right.
Then it's time to order. She orders appetizer.
Mm-hmm.
She orders the biggest feast and add 2 lobster tails.
Oh.
And then in the midst of that, before we were done, she ordered another drink while we talking.
Uh-huh.
And when I see her doing this, I'm going, wow. She never once asked me, like, do I have a cutoff? Am I, you know what I'm saying? Am I going out? She just ordering up.
Right. Right.
So I said, well, she's steady talking, trying to sell herself, right? But she don't know she had already shot herself in the foot.
Exactly.
Here's the funny part about when it comes to women, and I hope some women are listening, or when women go back and watch this and see this, I want you to hear me clearly. I liked her. She had potential. She flushed the toilet on all of that.
See?
Trying to use somebody on a first date. And what happened is, me being the guy that I am, the intelligent guy that I am, you're using me on the first, I flipped it and used it against you. I let you put yourself in a predicament where you owe and the bill was due.
Okay, right.
I let her do that. When we got done, when I seen what she was doing, because normally if it was a regular order, if she'd ordered regular food and kept it simple, and you know what I'm saying, we have a conversation and didn't go crazy like that, I'd have pulled out a credit card or debit card and paid for the meal. Then we'd have left, went for a ride downtown or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Right. Dig it.
But the fact that you went head on trying to dig my pockets, and I know your broke ass ain't got it.
Right.
So here it is. The fact that you did that, now it's time to call out the bait switch.
Right.
You tried to bait me with sexy conversation and, well, if I have another drink, tell her what I'll do to you tonight. Go on, boom, and steady order. I'll do it. You trying to, you dangling the little fish in front of me. Okay, I get it. All right. Cool. Now I'm finna switch it right before your very eyes.
Praise the Lord.
I don't pull out no debit card or credit card when it's time to pay. I pull out a doggone knot of about $4,500 to $5,000 in $100 bills.
Right.
And I take $200 bills and throw it on the table and say, let's go. I do that in front of you. Put it back in my pocket. So now when we get in the car, you know how you know the bait switched? When we get in the car, I let the roof back. Boom, cool. And then all of a sudden you went from sitting over there like this, bobbing your head to the music, and now you done cuffed my arm and leaned over on the armrest and had your head on the phone.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because you seen that knot, and now you're trying to figure out how
I could get to it.
How nasty do I gotta be?
Right.
So now I said, oh, you know what? We driving. She got all covered. I'm just cruising. You know what I'm saying? I got mama playing in the background because that's what I do. I usually put on mama on rotation. You know what I'm saying? Because If Mama played about 6 times, love and need and want you back in the background real low. On the first day, you can win. You can win with Mama. So yes, I'm riding. I thought about my boy that had a club up the way, same road, but it was a little further up the way. I said, hey, you know what? I said, my guy having a little something tonight. I said, I need to stop by there because I never visited his spot. This would be a good night to visit the spot. I said, would you like to go have a cocktail and talk? She was like, yeah, it's okay. I said, we could just have some wine and conversation. Okay, go. So we go. Get there.
Right.
He been on, like all the cats that was having the event, they knew me when I walked in. They didn't even charge me. They were like, oh man, no, you know, your money ain't no good, man. You come on, you good, come on. So now her mind, now her head blow. Like we walking into this club with these folks, everybody's speaking to him, and then they get out the way and tell him, no, you know, you good, you good. You know what I'm saying? Now she's like, oh, now I'm with him. I'm with him. I did this on purpose. When the owner came out, he said, hey, you finally came around here. African dude. I was like, yeah, what's going on, man? I want to see. I said, yo, this place is nice. We talking everything. So I introduced her. I said, hey, this is my buddy. He owns the place. She looking around like, oh, club owner. I'm blowing her mind wide out. Yeah. So when we get to the bar, I was like, I said, you want wine? I said, what kind of wine? She was like, Moscato. Soon as she said Moscato, I was like, yep, use a cheap dirty bitch. Okay, got you. So she said Moscato. So I was like, hey, man, can we get 2 glasses of Moscato? He said, man, I'm not going to keep blowing you no Moscato. He said, hey, the first one's on me. And popped a whole bottle of Moscato and set up 2 setups and poured the 2 glasses of wine. I was like this. And she was like, oh, he gave us the whole bottle? I said, yeah. I said, that's my boy. Her mind blow, right?
Right.
So now we leave there. I want to take my ride where I shoot all the way downtown. Where you know how you see the lights when you're going driving at night. You see all the city lights from the highway. We take that ride, and she was like, "Oh, I never had nobody just take me and ride down and you want to ride down Peachtree." And she said, "It's really nice and quiet at night." Oh, I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." And so I pulled to one of them little spots where you park and pay. Right, I'm sitting there chilling and everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I said, well, I just wanted to get to know you, man. I said, I really like you, bro. I said, we need to do more together. She said, for real, you feel that way? I said, yeah. I said, I ain't even gonna push you. I said, well, if you wanted to go home and like, because she was like, you know. I said, she said, I can go home with you. I said, I don't even believe you. I said, I don't believe you. So I think you're scared. You know, she was like, no. She said, no, I'm feeling you. I'm playing a whole mind game with you, but you were so busy trying to run my pockets, you don't realize I done turned the tables on you.
Exactly.
So now, what you done did was, we're in this little dark space. You want to prove your point. Now you prove your point. You wore your tonsils out, and then you're gonna tell me, "Hey, come on, take me to my house. I can get my bag, and then I can go home with you." I was like, "Okay, I'm cool with that."
Okay,
right. I'm cool with that. But what you done did was already you done got doggone sip my soda pop. So I'm really good for the night.
Okay.
So we got there get up. I said, I'm gonna go in and get my bag and everything. I said, cool, we go get your bag. When she went and got her bag, I left.
Okay.
Now, again, you paid very well.
Right.
For what you tried to pull. And even though I left the parking lot, because you paid so well, I was still with you. Yeah, she tried it.
Tried it.
Yeah, she went to gobble, gurgle land. You know what I'm saying? Thinking, I'm blowing his mind. I'm
Right.
No, you're at the house. You can't follow me. You don't know where I live. You don't have a car.
Exactly. And there you have it.
I turned the tables on it. And that's what I mean. Women, men out here will like you or see something in you even when you have nothing. stop trying to destroy them financially and emotionally.
Okay.
Because sometimes they didn't run up on you because you look good to them. They ran up on you because God sent them.
How about that?
Stop blocking your blessings, worrying about what's in a man's pocket.
Okay.
Because even if there's nothing in your pocket and nothing in his pocket, those two pockets together can have a complete overflow with the right mindset.
And there we have it.
So
And there we have it.
stop thinking being subservient and submitting is bowing down to a man. No, it's building up a future for not only him, but for yourself as well.
Exactly. And also understand this, that to submit, we do it all the time, okay? With bosses, with sometimes you submit to the will of your children. If they holler and carrying on and you don't feel like hearing them holler, what do?
Give them a
You
cookie.
acquiesce, you get them the powder, you get them the candy, whatever it was they want, because you want them to shut the fuck up. Okay. Oftentimes we do it in other areas of our lives, whether it's by force or by choice or whatever. We do it because we know that, okay, if I don't, then I won't be able to matriculate to the next level. One of the things about your man or in your relationship, the idea of submitting, and maybe y'all need to use this word because submit may be so hard, but it's more so compromise. Okay. Because the compromise is this. I know this is something that I want to do. However, out of respect, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna compromise with this, and we're gonna find the happy medium. Okay. I'm going to trust, because respect, trust, and mutual understanding goes. That's all intertwined with being able to submit to leadership. If I trust you that you're not going to steer me wrong, if I trust the fact that you got my back, if I trust the fact that I feel that your protection, you're not going to steer me wrong, and I feel safe when I'm with you, and that I could look at how you do your best friends and carry it on. Okay, when you do your best friends, when you do your good Judies and carrying on. Okay, if you know how to trust their judgment and carrying on, and still not feel as though you've lost anything or any of your integrity, any of your dignity or whatever, you're still able to say, okay, that's somebody who I could trust, because you got that people in your core that could sit down there and say, bitch, you're gonna stop all that bullshit. And I mean that. And because they know you. And if you have not taken the time to vet the person that you're with in order to say, I trust you and I'm willing to give you this energy and willing to accept your leadership, then you're not with the right person anyway. Your vetting process was wrong. See, a lot of you who don't want to submit and because you feel subservient, oh, I can't let no man, it's because your vetting process is off. You have not vetted him properly to understand who he is, to discover whether or not he is the type for you. Because if you're at this particular level, he's got to be able to meet you or be above you somewhere in order for you to feel trusted and safe and secure and blah, 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 blah. But you can't meet him on the level that you're meeting him on, because oftentimes y'all coming to him in female masculine energy.
But again, you can't, and ladies, I say this because I see women that go through prior relationships to a relationship that's good for them, and they mess that one up. Because, folks, again, trash and trophy is not the same thing. You cannot treat that trophy like the trash you dated before him. It's just what it is.
Okay.
That's just what it is.
And
because guess what? You
have
won that trophy. That trash, you found it.
Uh-uh. 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 Hold on.
I'm just saying.
Could you?
Means I'm
All right.
I got to get out of here, man.
Yeah, we finna shut this down, honey, because I started late, and I set up here and said to myself, I'm gonna be here for maybe about an hour. We done too. So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, wanted to make sure that we had this particular conversation and carrying on. What you say, child? Trash belongs on the curb, sir. Perhaps. Not before it's time, honey, because they leave it there, child. You had the damn dogs picking through it. Okay.
Right.
But here, when we go through it, I want y'all to pay attention. I put that link in there to that interview with April Mason, and I can't think of I can't think of his name. I think it's HDKD. I can't think of his name. I'm sorry, sir, but I put that interview up in there. That part of it, because I want y'all to see that. And I'm trying to find the interview that we did with her, because there was some wonderful jewels up in there as well. But let's continue to have these kind of conversations. And then on the flip side, I wish Nikki was here, because right. I need to have her in this particular discussion, because yeah. And we want to have a female point of view on this
at all times.
But maybe this was good, because oftentimes when we have these discussions, women take over the conversation. Okay. And men still don't get to be heard all the time. So we need to have more of these kinds of things. And then men need to understand that just because you're masculine does not mean that you don't have any feminine energy in you. Because the feminine energy is your creative side. That's your creativity, that's your nurturing, that's your this. And you have to be, in order to keep your family, your household in synergy. Because when she's down, you're there for the slack. As the leader and the provider, you're there to do all that. Okay. Well, so because of that, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give y'all this too, just like
oh,
you're a woman before you ever became a man. Do the math.
And on that note, honey, listen, I'm not gonna sing out, because I'm not. Okay, I'm just gonna say, listen, if you love us, tell a friend, honey. If you hate us, tell all of your motherfucking enemies to come on in, to like, subscribe, to share, and to keep the conversation going. You don't have to agree with us, honey. This here is to stimulate your mind and your thoughts and your voices and carry it on.
That's right.
And make that happen. You know, let's make it happen and get the conversations going, honey. Listen, you may finish all of your crumpets, my darling, because the tea has been dished. And you have been dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat. And over here, we got the minister, honey, the right minister, honey, the new minister. Oh, yeah. Okay. I call him V. Okay. Or Veil. Sometimes I just say Veil.
Okay. Like his eye is Bible man, just for you.
Beyond the veil. Okay. So on that particular note, my darlings, listen, get yourselves together. Get yourselves into that headspace, honey. Do the work. And this is their goal for me too, because hell, I get lazy and I have to work on me, and there's conversations I need to have that I've been avoiding, and this, that, and the other. No, you have to do the work in order to grow. It's the only way. And the sad thing is that oftentimes many of us are looking for somebody else to do it, but this is your assignment, honey. Nobody else can do it but you, because it's all about you and this particular work. So on that note, honey, listen, we'll see you guys on the next go round, baby. I'm gonna go up here and kick my feet up. Let me give y'all 2 recommendations. If y'all want a good, just a cackle, and this goes out. No, this is for everybody, but particularly to my alphabet children. I want you to go on YouTube, get the movie, The Gay Deceivers. Okay, called The Gay Deceivers. It's a 1969 in parentheses. All right. I need y'all to get that, watch that. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you now, if you get the full version, there's a part of it where you're only gonna get sound because they said for copyright they didn't want to show the clip. But in the same clip, if you go down, you'll see the link to see that particular part of the clip. Okay. But you see the whole movie. And then if you got Prime Video, okay, go on Prime. Hopefully you got Brown Sugar, the Brown Sugar subscription as well. Y'all got to see Norman, Is That You? Okay? It's Red Fox and Pearl Bailey, okay, when they discover that their son is homosexual. Okay? But there's a scene up in here. Y'all got to see Red Fox Queen out. That's all I'm saying.
Big dummy.
Y'all got to see Red Fox Queen out. And it is hysterical. It's hysterical. So that'll give y'all cackle for the day, honey. So on that note, my darlings, good night. We'll see you guys the next time around. And yeah, keep your head up above water and know that, darling, God is love and love is for everyone. And no one can separate you from the love of God. Not you, not even death itself can separate you from the love of God. God is love and love is for everyone. Life. Life. Love is for everyone. On
That's
that
right.
note, we'll see you guys soon. Ta-ta.